So first of all, good morning. Welcome back to CISG114, Section 1, Web Technology and Life, on September the 14th, 2015. I sent you a teacher's message for week number 4 this morning, and in the teacher's message it includes a table which listed out your pairing status. And if you see the word completed next to your name, that means you have a pair, and you just need to know the name of your pair and look down the list to see if your pair partner is also with the same pair. For example, if I'm Maria, okay, then I am affiliated with pair number 4. So I'm looking down the list to see if my pair partner is also included. So I'm looking for another student who's also affiliated with pair number 4. And you can see that the student is Jing Yi, okay? Jing Yi is also affiliated with pair number 4. So in this case, if that is correct, you are set, all right? Now in case, what I discover here, all right? What I discover here, it's only one student in this class is Gaking. I cannot find the pairing information from document Q&A hotline from week number 2. All right? And all the other students have already been paired up. And what's your name? Kenneth. Can you find your name here on this table?
Yeah.
Check it. Right?
Pair 1.
Pair 1.
Yeah.
So you're in pair 1. Then let me double check for you. Are you this one?
No, not this one.
No, because when I check the information, that is the student together with your name. Have you sent me?
I've sent you the form to.
Now let me double check on. The form. Okay. It's very important that it's in week number 2. I checked this link because everyone is supposed to send it here. Okay? Let me see. Now I got all the participants. When you see your entries, let me know. Okay? Did you see your entry? Could you just make sure that when you see it, let me know? Because I got all the pairing information from this list. Can you find your name? I cannot see it. Which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay. So when I click on this, Nicholas. You mean Nicholas? It's no.
Because that class on the week 2.
Yeah.
My class is
But who's this name? Who's this guy? So that means it's not correct.
Yeah.
But have you sent me an updated? Then I cannot do anything because you must send me an update that I got information from here. All right? So are you telling me that Nicholas, who's Nicholas? So you were dropped by Kenneth. So Kenneth and you are no longer a pair, right?
No.
So Kenneth and...
me.
Okay, but you have to discuss, all right? So, but now your decision is, you want to pair with Gaking, but you must send me another one. Okay, if you don't send me another one, I got everything from here, all right? So you cannot just tell me, make sure now you send me something. Now, you become an orphan, all right?
Okay.
So the benefit of being an orphan is you can choose any other pair, okay? You can choose any other pair. So the next thing is, when you choose a pair, you need to ask for the approval of that pair to accept you. So you're Nicholas, right?
Yeah.
All right, so can you send me immediately another one, the table like this, and you become the persons that we need to take care of, okay? Because unfortunately we have an odd number of students, so we have against 10 pairs altogether, all right, 10 pairs. So you might stand up here and introduce yourself to all the pairs and ask for any one pair who's willing to accept you, okay? That is what you need to do, okay? Because you have to find a home, all right? You don't work things out alone, okay? So we have some changes. I'm sorry, we spent extra
I
time.
already decided talking with his group.
His group, okay.
Group
Then
two.
you make sure you talk to his group.
Yeah.
Which pair is your group?
Pair number 2.
Pair number 2, okay? So, do you have another partner who's here today?
Yeah, he's not sure.
Okay, he's not shown up yet. So, are you sure you can make a decision for him? Or do you need to consult him first?
No, necessary.
Not necessary. Okay, now, I take your word for it, okay? Now, when there is any problem that comes up, you have to be responsible for resolving it because you have to respect the pair partner's decisions. That's why I say he has to come here and introduce himself to all the pairs, and then we go through a process of volunteering, and then everything is going to be set. So now, I take your word for it. So Nicholas is now in your pair. Is it pair number 2? Okay, let's see. So Nicholas. Kenneth, your pair is originally pair number 1. You are at Nicholas in pair number 1. Let's see. You're not Kenneth, you're Kenneth, right? Okay, Kenneth. So let me double check for you. Because we need to save time, but I have to take care of that because if you do have the group, you cannot do anything. Let's say, let me do this way, all right? Now, I have to apologize for the whole class. We have to spend extra time during that instead of getting into the class, but we have to do it because every student is valuable in this class, so we need to take into account the needs of every single student. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go to, now Jogging and Kenneth is in one pair. Okay, let me see. Kenneth. Kenneth, would you please make sure when you see your name, let me know. This one?
No.
No. Now this is no longer, this is in pair number 2 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, pair number 2. Okay, and then Kenneth, which one is your name?
In the bottom of the
Bottom of the list? This one? Which one? This one? You man him. Okay. Man him. So now you're pairing with a Gaking. Okay. And then Nicholas will be in pair number 2. Okay. Now I'll take your word for it. He's in pair number 2, alright? Okay, let me save this. And then I need to adjust the pairing immediately. So I'm going to adjust the pairing. So pair number 1, and you're in pair number 2, okay? So pair number 1. We no longer have Nicholas. So pair number 1 is so this is I need to make sure that I got things right. Okay, let me change that first. This go out, and then Gaking, which one is your student number? Okay, is this one? Check, make sure you let me know, okay? This one? Which one is your student number? The second one? This one? Rowie?
AB 516.
AB, this one?
Yes.
Okay. So now you two become one pair. You can use the forum together. I will adjust the name until you send me the table, okay? Fiction. Okay, that's good. Let me go back to the tables. Yes. It takes a while to get things done. Okay. This one, right? Okay, let me copy the table first. And then I come back here. Back to the book. Here we go, right? Everything is Chris and Kenneth together, right? All right, thank you. Here we go, we need to go back to this one now. And we'll go to week number 3. And discussion forum. And you're here number 1. So this one. Okay, things are set. The next thing is that I need to take care of Nicholas. So I need to go back to Nicholas. I'm sorry, we have to take care of students grouping in class because it takes up the time. But it's okay. Hopefully we will get much more used to this kind of things. So Nicholas, would you please, Nicholas, tell me which one is your student number?
This one.
This one, right? Okay. So you got this one. Could you please send me another table with Nicholas' name included, okay? In Dr. Wen's Q&A online for week number 2. Okay? So that is very important. Yes. All right, I will take care of the housekeeping, that means administrative, later. Now let's get back to the business of today. Now that you have your name here, so you should be able to use the pair discussion forum. Okay, let's get back. Well, hopefully you find the information I gave you useful. For example, the teacher's message of this week, week number 4, have given you another very important reminder of what artifacts you need to prepare for this weekend submissions, okay? So if we look at the teacher's message for week number 4, that I've just told you here, I have given you your pairing information. I'm going to edit this in a minute, okay, for the sake of the other 2 changes. But the most important thing is, you know that we do have the artifacts given, and next to the artifact you can see something like this here, all right? So you can see that I've given you the hints about the time you need to use to prepare the work done. And most importantly, I've also given you the rubric that I will use to give an assessment of your work, okay? The rubric to give an assessment of your work, you check it because you can use the piece of work you produce, and you apply the rubrics there, and you can give yourself a score already, okay? So the rubric is a very important means to help you to understand the standards to which you're going to climb to. And you also understand the standard I'm using, or better say the criteria, to give you a score. And sometime I will give you an interesting way to encourage your work. Sometimes if you have actually not got up to a standard, according to the roommate, you might get a 1. But if I see that you put a lot of efforts there, I might give you a 3 or 4. This is to make sure that you have a smooth transitions to go through your learning curve. But the rubrics are there to make sure you understand if you want to reach the standard, here's the standard. Okay? So you understand the meaning of that. And of course, as I explained it to you last week, you first need your journal, your discussions on the Moodle environment, and then you extract them by doing copy and paste individually and produce Microsoft Word document for your submissions. Okay? So you can see all of these important hints here to help you understand what you're supposed to do, how much time you need to do it, and the basic criteria you need to know to understand how to give yourself a score, and also when you submit that, what you need to do to produce the submissions artifact. Okay? And during the teacher's message, I've given you the morale behind writing your learning journals, the reasons why the online peer discussions forum is important, and also your blog. All of these are systematic tasks you need to complete in order to get yourself up to a particular standard. And that is a standard where the learn-to-learn ability will be evaluated, and that can be developed in you, because it's not just an assignment, it's an assignment that helps you to develop that skill, the writing skill, from a topic to the notes, to the discussions, to form a report, to a summarized versions of the topic. And then I've also given you the ideas of the support network. The support network, at this point, you can see that we've given you the instructor resources for the Moodle environment. We have the Learning Center syllabus, where it's a very important document for us to develop this curriculum and to deliver the curriculum for you. Can you help close the blind? Thank you, because you cannot see that. And then we have the support website with the subsequent resources, and you now have a learning partner. Now, towards the end of this month, okay, you not only should have your learning partner, that means you not only should be affiliated with a pair, you need to find another pair to become a team, okay? So we expect you to work out who is going to be your teaming pair by the end of this month. And you will become an ISG, an informal study group. The 4 of you, 2 pairs will come together to start working with your second learning contract, 4 persons, okay? So it's a very exciting thing to do. And so this is a very important teacher's message to remind you of things that has to be done. Okay, now the next things we need to do is today's topic. So let's get back to our regular business. Okay, our regular business for each week is we start out the week with 2 essential questions. Okay, and if you look at the public online discussion forum for this week, I've given you 2 essential questions. Okay, let me see. Yes, it's very good. All right, so what have you learned from the first week of the semester? Okay, my advice is when you see questions like this, when I give you some pointers about some of those resources, we expect you to watch and study at home. For example, how many of you have gone through at least one of these 3 documentaries? Growing Up Online, Digital Nations, and Generations Like. Okay? So these 3 documentaries are very important in the sense to help you to understand information technology in today's knowledge society, from high school to college to work life. There's a very interesting 5 years studies on the impact of web technologies, also including mobile technologies as well as others, in the learning and living of a whole generation of people. And of course, as of last week, we introduced you the idea of corporate social responsibility, CSR, We also given you a mini lecture on CSR from St. Gallen's University. All right, so hopefully you will spend enough time at home making sense of those resources, and of course the ethics of internet privacy and a little bit of life in the information age. All of these are very fundamental. So today, may I just invite you, after the introductions of the topic today, which is called a digital divide, you spend some time, about 5 to 10 minutes time, talking with your learning partner and produce some of your responses and type up your responses here. But first of all, allow me to introduce to you the topic of today. Okay, we are at the last week of the first learning contract. This is week number 4. And of course, the important topic for today is information literacy and competency. But I need to get back to week number 3 first to wrap up the discussions on the digital divide. So the digital divide, it's a very interesting gap between those who have the resources and skills to use computer, especially internet and web today, and those who do not have any such resources or skills or knowledge. An example of questions that we need to ask of ourselves when we are faced with the digital divide challenge in the 21st century is, what can we do, or what can I do as an individual to bridge the digital divide gap, to make it closer so that fewer people will on the have-not side and more people will have the on the have side. Now in Macau and Hong Kong we are fortunate, particularly in Macau, where we have a lot of the very excellently equipped public libraries. So you can walk into the public library and you present your ID card and you can use the computing resources there. You have a lot of good books and wonderful environment, and people will come to teach you how to use the computer. So, and our government also provide e-government services for each of the citizens. So the digital divide problem does not seem to be very severe. But in Hong Kong, the picture is a little bit interesting. Hong Kong is a very wealthy area, but you know that a lot of the people in Hong Kong, or better say families in Hong Kong, are still living below the poverty line. And many of the kids of those families really cannot afford to buy a single computer at home to use, let alone the internet charges. Although Hong Kong is very inexpensive, but for those families, it's very hard to support. And so, let me give you an example of people's initiatives to bridge the digital divide gap. There is an organization in Hong Kong called Web Organic, okay, which works with the government of Hong Kong to provide to those families with kids who would like to use the computer to learn at home, because at school they have a computer. But if they do not have any computer to learn at home, it will be to their great disadvantage. And so the organizations talk to the government is willing to sponsor a program to help those families below the poverty line to subscribe to a program which is offered by the Web Organic Social Enterprise in such a way that as long as the family is able to support $100 per month for the child's education in the area of computing resources, the organization is going to give to the child an excellently, very new equipped computer with the internet charges, just $100 per month. So the program became very successful, and over the past 3 years, the majority of the family below the poverty line benefit from the program, except for 2.5% of the family that have not joined this. So that is one way to bridge the digital divide gap. And more to this program is not only the family with the child will be given the computer and the internet resources, university students as volunteers from Hong Kong UST and Chinese University, and actually from different universities in Hong Kong, will become the mentor, the tutorial teacher. They will go to the home for 1 to 3 hours per week to help the kid to learn how to use the computer, to program the computer, so that the kid will become another productive teacher for another kid. You see the meaning of that kind of program? So you become a university student. You go into a home considered as the family below poverty line. You teach the kid how to use the computer with the internet resources and teach the kid the specific skill programming with apps. And then the kid learn the skill and they can share with other families. And what can we do as students? Well, if we have this kind of volunteer program to help poor family in the community, kids to learn the necessary skill with the equipment provided, so much better. So today, let me give you an examples of bridging the digital divide gap, and hopefully this 2.3 minutes. Particularly college students in Hong Kong. Let me give you an example from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. I mentioned a group of students who become volunteers for the web community organizations in Hong Kong. And increasingly, the interesting things about this is for service learning in Hong Kong. And actually, at the University of Macau, we started up this program. But let's take a look at what they are doing to bridge the digital divide gap, okay, from an institutional approach. All right, so let's go for this.
service. I like service, yeah, because a lot of people always serve me. Yeah, and so I think I have a lot of experience about service.
I would like to make this world a better place. Like, there are lots of discontent, discord in our world. But by knowing more about each other, by stepping into each other's shoes, that you can really understand their needs, their concerns, what they want, and all this can help make, by mutual understanding, you can know more about each other and help making our world a better place, a more peaceful one.
If we want to have our younger generation more fruitful and more advancing towards and being more competitive with others, we need to do more.
I like to think of service learning as the closest to a complete education.
It poses a great impact throughout my life, that changing my attitude and strengthen my belief in helping others, and also staying strong when we have difficulties.
After the service, I really pushed to continue my thinking about programs and other things for now.
Even the service recipients, their impact will be very short.
True. Yeah.
So it's the learning part that the students most benefit from doing those service learning things, right?
Realization, awareness, and self-development.
Find more yourself.
Service and learning together.
When you put academic components into service and let students learn about these academic components through giving service to people.
Service learning is a way to encourage students to really to put their knowledge in practice. So the learning part is the most important.
Service learning offers students the unique opportunity to engage with the society and rethink the meaning of their study and their role in society. In this episode, we will follow Dr. Nai, Dr. Chang, and Dr. Ng in the Service Learning Project, in which students visit and teach computing skills to children in Cambodia. Dr. Nai, Dr. Chang, and Dr. Ng will also share with us their experience of teaching service learning subjects and the challenges and rewards that come with it.
Service learning is rewarding, but I do have to say it is probably the most challenging thing in terms of teaching. First challenge is from the student level. In general, whenever we bring students on these subjects, we always have students whose idea is to go on there as a cheap holiday and just to play. We find that the reflective essays have been a wonderful way in dealing with them.
This day seems a bit messy, but you guys make me know how to consider of others and make me know how to cooperate with you guys.
The reflection really helped us, and I really want to thank my supervisors and also their tutors. Yeah, they really helped us because every night we have meetings and all that kind of thing that really helped us, and they really do other kind of reflection with us when we went back to Hong Kong.
Giving them a lot of reflection to making them really think upon what they were learning, I think that actually had a very positive impact upon the motivation of our students, motivating them to actually put themselves aside and actually serve and try to learn from this experience. So can you share with us about what you have learned?
You do not know the result if you never try. Just in case, if I did not go to Cambodia.
In the past, I was too target-oriented, like what I would like to do, what I would like to achieve. For some of the time, I may be quite reckless towards others' needs, like the service recipients' needs. I may not care too much about their needs, but through this experience that I learned that it is important for us to step into their shoes, to know more about their abilities, their needs, and to conduct their service projects in a more effective manner.
The other challenge that I can think of immediately is in terms of the challenges in terms of knowledge that we are dealing with. Another example also comes from this summer when we actually put together a project that involved bringing our students to this orphanage that was serving HIV/AIDS positive orphans. We gave a lot of training. We gave them a lot of preparation. We had doctors coming from Prince of Wales Hospital. We had the orphanage director coming to talk about the orphans and so on. They went in there within 3 seconds. They were with the kids. They were talking with the kids. They were playing with them. They were holding them. And I think that the biggest difference was the amount of preparation that we gave them.
As one of the preparation activities, students participated in a warm-up service at a local school of special education, in which they visited and played games with a group of mentally challenged kids. At the end of the service, they were given a debriefing by Dr. Nai.
Let me just ask a question on my own, okay? Who was not comfortable at the beginning? The reason why we brought you here is because think about this environment. This is a very normal environment, right? Look at how clean the place is. I wonder how many of our classrooms in Angkor are this clean. Now think about Cambodia. You are in a very different environment. I guarantee you it will be nowhere as clean as here. The kids will be something that you have not seen before. Some of the kids today, they were mentally challenged, but they were clean. Some of the kids in Cambodia will not be clean. Most of them will not be wearing shoes. You will not be wearing shoes. The environment will not be clean like this. There will be dust, there will be dirt everywhere, right? So in a way, the reason why we brought you here is because we want to see how you will react to the challenge of being in a situation that is not exactly something that you're used to.
Well, I'm really glad that I come and be able to observe this particular project in this class. It is obvious that Professor Nai, Grace, Stephen Chen, Professor Chen had prepared them very well. The expectation of the student need to be well prepared. I think the staff themselves need to be well prepared. I think this is one lesson that I hope that at least I learned from this experience, and I certainly will try to encourage all the staff to remember that when they start designing a service learning course.
Students work in a team, and as we shared just now, there are lots of problems in terms of teamwork, students working together. Throughout the process, the students actually learn how to work with each other, handle personal conflicts, handle differences of opinion, and through the process, they actually assessing each other. Sometimes you don't really need to go in and say, okay, who has been the leader? It is obvious from how they interact with each other, who has been stepping up. Sometimes we put this student in as a team leader. It turns out another person is actually a much more effective leader. And this we can see because we work alongside them and we can see them. And the assessment sometimes is actually quite easy because it is quite very obvious.
Then also, because we are the team, we need to know what happened during the conversation with the lesson. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
I was just thinking about how students learn, how service learning connects to the academic discipline, and I think that one of the ways that they connect the most is that it actually lets students take whatever they were learning in the classroom and put it to real use. All of the stuff that is from 312 all of a sudden starts to make sense, and that was because they actually had to understand this stuff in order to put it in place.
Most of the times in the class, we lecturer only talk about some theories, and in fact we may not know how the theory works. But when we go into the real world and we work with that theories, and we find that, oh, these theories work like that.
And in some of our other projects where we actually get students to go and teach, because we are from the Department of Computing, we ask them to go in and teach programming or something like that. And really one one of the students came back and told me, said, wow, you know, when I started preparing the lesson plans, when I started teaching, then I realized how many holes there were.
I remember in these few days I had taught my students, because I'm living in Hawaii, I taught my students about the programming. Yeah, and I really learned a lot from her, because I remember we revised the programming language because I haven't touched programming for nearly one semester. Yeah.
Through those subsequent projects, they provide the triggers, the catalyst, for students to eager to learn more, and then we can offer them more afterwards. That is the trick. I mean, we are not saying that all the social learning projects can fulfill all the components of either professional knowledge. That is not necessary. But then it serves as a way to initiate and motivate our students. That is more important. That is the purpose of education.
Sometimes learning is to use one's intrinsic value to bring out some extrinsic force. That is fair to you. That is fair for you, but is essential for others.
Service learning can help you find more yourself.
I think that doing the service learning subjects are probably, even forget the subject, even the project itself is probably one of the most demanding things that I've had to deal with. I think the biggest thing is that it's one of the most satisfying things that I've ever done. It's one of the most challenging things that I've ever done, but it's also one of the most personally satisfying things. To see the students grow, to see how to actually watch them grow over the course of one summer while they are working with the projects. I remember one summer where you see the student at the beginning of the summer and you see him at the end of the summer and you're like, wow, you know, this kid is like two different people. And then watching them, you know, start from being just simply participation to starting to coordinate, to starting to lead, and to start to propose projects. And towards the end of his academic studies, he was actually going out and recruiting new project staff for us. And that is just so completely amazing. And I don't know, I mean, in many ways, I see our students as, okay, you know, they're not my kids, but they're somebody else's kids. And, you know, I'm sure that his parents would be happy to see him learning something like this. And as his teachers, you know, it is the duty and the responsibility that society or our job has placed upon us. But at the same time, it's also just, I mean, what could be more satisfying than actually seeing us make an impact in somebody's life? Something that visible. You know, you could teach like half a dozen subjects, get a really good SFQ, and still not see that, because students will not remember you after the subjects. But for the service learning projects, I've never had a student who went on the service learning and they could not remember me afterwards. That's not gonna happen. Yeah.
I think, you know, it is important. Now I'm more convinced that particularly for academic staff who had never done it before, I would strongly encourage those staff to take time to come out to one of the service learning courses to understand and experience what this is all about before you get into the planning, before you get into the designing of the course on your own.
Well, I hope this video will provide some food for thought for you. It's an important video for you to put some thinking into the ideas of the digital divide and what you as an individual student can do, what the university as an institutions can do, and what we as teachers could put things together. Okay? Allow me to invite you to talk to your learning partner for the next 10 minutes while I'm setting up a discussion thread for this particular video and also take attendance for the day. Okay? Spend time. Haley, are you willing to do your sharing today or? Okay, 5 minutes, all right? Can we pause for just a minute for Haley's sharing? Okay, are you ready now?
Yes.
Okay, let me pass the microphone to you. Thank you very much. You just need to sign up in order to come up here to share with the whole class. And it will be recorded. It's an important milestone of your in-class participations. Okay? Yes, it's a ring.
Thank you.
Please come up here. You want to use the computer here? Or you want to just stand up and talk? Yes.
Okay.
Please come.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to share some of the things that I learned from Professor Wall last week. And we've talked about the term information age. And then there's few things that we learn. One of the things is the ethics. Okay, we want to know, okay, what is important in this 21st century, the information age that we are in, and then what are the problems that we face in this international community. Yes, and then we talk about the ethics, and basically it is something that we face too, and then the society is truly an information society. Sometimes we're not sure about what we are doing, because even if we try our best to adapt to the society, we may not be able and may not be accessible. So we face challenges sometimes because our society is in danger. Well, what am I going to say that? Because according to what I've learned last week, we have 4 challenges that face the information age. The first thing is the privacy. The second thing, accuracy. The third thing is poverty, and the fourth thing is accessibility. That's something that I go searching for. Why is PAPA? It's because society is now doing a lot of works to avoid these problems that we're facing. Like the example that Professor Watt talked just now, last week. The form, okay, the filling form in Macau Tower. We have to think about it, because people like outside of the net, they look into something which is beneficial, and we provide our information not for their benefits. So we have to take care of it and take a look at it. More importantly is the second thing we learned, social responsibility. And we heard the term corporate social responsibility. It's one of the things that the company can do in their ways of making society better. And social responsibility is what we all can do to help ourselves to make the society a better place, and especially in the information age. First thing that we have to think about is we will be all alerted when we come to the conclusion of knowing what responsibilities should we incorporate. Yes. The first thing is we maintain a balance, in which the legitimate information for the business, and whereas we have to respect the customer's right to the privacy. Okay, in a short word, privacy is the most important thing that we all have, and we should be taking the responsibilities of keeping things in a more careful way. And everyone is unique, like we all know. And we all have our main price. So we may be beneficial to the other companies and the outside world. And the last thing that I'm going to share is the digital divide that we just look at the video. And for me, I'm going to take this as my topic because I think digital divide is really important nowadays, especially in the 21st century. And then for me, the social network, some people in a remote country and they do not have the access to the internet. And like one of the professors in the video said that communication is really important for human beings. And we're here to bridge the gap. We shouldn't stand aside and let this world be alone. Okay, we should be all together and meet these things and share these things all together. Yeah, this is what I learned.
Thank you very much, Haley. Yes, thank you. We appreciate Haley's effort to help share with us the learnings picked up as announced with it. Indeed, each and every one of you is given an equal chance to do something similar. You just need to sign up in the call for participations in every which topic online discussion forward, all right? And you will be given 5 minutes or at most 10 minutes time to share. And the best thing, if you have more to share, prepare a simple PowerPoint for us to follow, okay? And what you did in class will be very important because it's going to give you 20% of the overall 100% score in this semester. And you just need to come up here, do it frequently enough. And expectedly, I would like to see each one of you get involved every 2 weeks, or even every week, because 5 minutes, it's okay. And we do not have a big class here, okay? So this is something very important. Allow me to take attendance first because you have to go and I have to switch to another class. Yes. I will set up a discussion thread on the digital divide afterwards. We need today, okay? Yes. So Maria, not here today? Oh, thank you. Okay, Chris, thank you. And then Alexa, thank you. Rory, thank you. Annie, thank you. And then Daryl, thank you. Nicholas, thank you. And then it's Tom. Are you here, Tom? Tom, you're not here? Okay. Haley, yes, thank you. And then Rico, thank you. Kesley, thank you. Sita, thank you. Kami, thank you. All right. Ariel, thank you. Renee, thank you. And then Kenneth, yes. Adia, thank you. And then Hopo, thank you. And Hector, yes, thank you. And then Eric, thank you. Virginie, thank you. That's very good. We have almost everyone here except for one student. Okay, so I'm going to let you go, but if you have any question, you can stay behind. I still have 5 minutes, and I'm going to use the remaining time to set up a discussion thread in today's topic. This is week number 4. Yes. got the discussion thread set up so that please reply when you have any ideas on your own, okay? Actually, we got one sharing from Daryl. What is information competency? That actually should be the topic on Thursday, okay? That's very good. That's the journals, all right? So you want people to respond to the journals, all right? So thank you very much, Daryl. Would you like to share with us, Daryl, are you here? Would you like to share with us next class about your journals? I'll give you 5 minutes time so that you can invite people to discussions with you. Next class, Thursday. Okay, please sign up the sign sheets, okay, of last week. Actually, I want more of you, okay, give it back to all of you. Okay, that's it for today's CISG 114, Section 1, Web Technology and Life. Until this Thursday, stay in tune.